Good evening, Liberia. Good evening, the United States. Good evening, Africa. Good evening, South America. Good evening, Asia. Good evening, Australia. Everywhere else, whatever the time zone is, it's good to be back here with you on our 100th and one edition of the Issues Room. This evening conversation, you saw the flyer, it'll be centered around the current trip being made by the President of the Republic of Liberia, George Weah, who left the country by probably 3 days now, if you want to say 2.5 to 3 days. So it's going to be a long talk tonight. I can guarantee you it's going to be burning, it's going to be intriguing, it's going to be sensational because the circumstances surrounding this trip and the slap in the face to the Liberian people, we got to talk. And we want you to come on and have this conversation with us. We're in the issues room. I'm flying my t-shirt, as you can see, is for appropriate for the weather. And we just want to encourage you. You can purchase this for $20. Let us know if you're interested. We can get this to you. But in the meantime, I'm going to go to Moses Sandy. Welcome, Moses, this evening. It's going to be a good one. You and I are going to have a wonderful dialogue here tonight, discussing the things that matter. When you think about our country, Moses, every day something matters. Something matters.
Definitely.
And, we
It
can't
does.
stop talking.
Mhm.
We really can't stop talking. We have to. I'm not broadcasting our usual studios. My location is undisclosed. But in the meantime, I'd like to say welcome to our viewers. Welcome to the Facebook world. Welcome to the Twitter world. Welcome to LinkedIn. Welcome to YouTube. All of our followers, we say good evening. This is our 101 edition, and it's good to be back.
It is also good to be back as usual.
Can you clear your throat? Mute your mic and clear your throat because it looks like
No,
I,
no, this is not playing through, man.
sure, I want you to clear that through because the conversation going to be serious here tonight.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, crackers.
Uh, it's good to be in the issues room. And this time, I know we're going to start formally, but we come with good news for Liberia as well. Yeah.
Just go ahead, lay the news out.
Well, the good news is that since the ascendancy of the We administration to the presidency of Liberia for more than 5 years, the government uh, never succeeded in passing uh, the Millennium Challenge Corporation Good Governance Indicators Test. So we got report from Monrovia uh, yesterday that this time around, out of 20 indicators on which countries are evaluated, Liberia succeeded in scoring or in passing 12 of the indicators. This is uh, the newest strategy put in place by the U.S. government to help the world poorest nations. So there are indicators that countries need to meet before getting U.S. assistance. In the past, it wasn't there. It was on the basis of needs, but this time there are specific indicators: economic growth, economic freedom, the rule of law, good governance. So Liberia is one of few countries that this time passed those or met those indicators.
So Moses,
So the administration is now celebrating.
Moses,
Yes,
but in the fairest of truth, be honest with me here. When you talk about the rule of law,
yeah,
when you talk about a robust economy, when you talk about a country that cannot even produce rice on the market, and if it's produced, is exceptionally high in price. And you telling me, is it prior to this situation that the scrutiny was done and this is released now as a result? They want to take glory for it, or is it right now happening? Let's be practical here.
Is I think the assessment is not for 2020 2022. They took into consideration previous, progress that the government made over the years. It's not really 2023 because, like you said, Volcano, it is paradoxical to have a government, the minister of state and other two other prominent, officials of the administration currently under U.S. sanction. At the same time, the government is priding itself in terms of good governance. So how do you reconcile that? So I agree with you 100%. The score of today does not reflect the reality in the country. Yeah.
And that's why I want people not to celebrate some of these things because, again, if I would say that they're not absolutely objective,
Mhm.
some of these things can be these data and the results of these data and the measurability and what they put forth can be influenced by many factors.
Oh yeah, so
And
many things
when
happen
you
behind
think
the scene.
when you think about Liberia right now, this is not the case. The reality is a stark contrast
Mhm.
to what is happening. And let people not celebrate these things. Let the citizens celebrate their livelihood. Let the citizen of the country say, we have arrived. We now have food. We now have water. We now have healthcare. We now have good education. We now have electricity. We now are a part of our economy and we're reflecting the reality of the situation.
Mhm.
Have a majority of the people suffering. And then you take these funny little what you call profiles that put out there and you brag about it.
Mhm.
And when you go to Monrovia right now and drive from the Roberts International Airport to Monrovia, you are driving in pitch black dark with a dilapidated highway that they
Yeah.
continue to say is under construction. When you get to Monrovia, it's congestion, it's the lack of rule of law, when pimping boys are running all between people, when people are creating their own lanes, when every government official has a siren and they're forcing people off the road where there's no shoulder, you don't take glory for this kind of what I would call measurable.
No.
You know, uh,
Assessment, these are international assessments sometimes.
so let's not pretend about this.
I agree.
Let's
I
not
agree.
pretend about this. We know when Liberia has arrived. We will know. We will feel it. It's palpable. It's gonna be. It's gonna be felt. So let people not
We
run with.
celebrate.
Yeah, yeah. Don't do that. Don't
Yeah,
do that
happy.
because you're talking to Volcano who goes to Liberia at least
On a
every year
consistent basis.
and
Yeah.
live it and see it and feel it and smell it and taste it. It's not something that when
Not
somebody
any art.
the people who write our history shouldn't be writing our history. We should write our own history because
Yeah,
we feel
because
it, we see it, we know it, we
we live
understand it.
it. We live it. We
Yeah,
live it. We
yeah.
live the situation. We experience it. So sometimes the assessment done by foreign countries just reflect the opposite of the situation in the country. Because, like you said, Volcano, how can Liberia boast of good governance? How can Mr. Weah boast of good governance? I know we're going to get there, but you literally abandon your country for almost 2 months. So, where's the good governance? Where's the good governance?
Yeah, absolutely. But let me just quickly welcome some of our folks here tonight. Fergie Moyu, it's a pleasure
Yeah.
to have you here in the Issues Room. Promise Sweet, Emmanuel Jackson, Thomas Awaji. Good to have you, my brethren. I see you spreading the word right now, inviting others to come. Raymond S. Clark, Adiaha Umo, all the way from the land down under. That's Australia. Listen, man, it's good to have you. You're one of our avid viewers and listeners. and
Yeah.
we can't ask for more. It's always good to have you here in the house. If you're just joining us, this is the 101 edition of the Issues Room. We're broadcasting live Tuesdays and Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time uh, to Liberia in the Greenwich time zone, which is 11 p.m. And here in America, we're broadcasting on at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'd like to encourage all of you, our viewers. We are the alternative social media platform emanating of Liberia. We discuss the things pertinent to Liberia, the African continent, and the Black diaspora. I would like to invite you to share the word, invite others to join us. We think that as being the alternative, we're able to discuss the issues from an informed research and more balanced perspective. And that is why we encourage you to tune into us. Tonight, we don't have a guest with us or a guest discussant. However, Moses and I are going to hit the nail on tonight. And this conversation starts quickly with President Weah leaving the country probably 2.5 days ago to travel to Morocco to begin with. He will also go to Egypt, or if he's already in Egypt, and the trip will take him to Qatar to see his son Tim Weah plays for the United States soccer team in the World Cup. That would be considered the vicarious. We are living his dream and aspiration in his son's image because he failed to take Liberia to the World Cup when he had it as a drop in the bucket. There were all of the decks were stacked in the favor of Liberia, and yet we are and his boys went out the night before the game with Ghana, hang out, enjoy themselves, ran Monrovia, enjoying the beauty of the city, the girls, and they went to the SKD Sports Complex and lost
Yeah.
to Ghana. And so now he wants to see and feel. That would have been even a bigger legacy had we had taken Liberia to the World Cup and
Yeah.
his son playing in the World Cup. You see what I'm saying, Moses? And
Yeah. Hmm.
that would have been bigger. But now he
Yeah.
got to vicariously observe the World Cup through his son and feel that,
Son. Yeah.
wow, I
Yeah.
could have been here. And
Yeah.
then he says he's gonna go to Monaco and
Yeah.
other places in Europe, hopefully, and then go come to the US where he's will be kind of at the Joe Biden summit. But
World Leaders Summit. Yeah.
all of this is not an ordinary. You take the taxi from Broad Street and start, making those stops. It requires money accordingly, and some of these things can be also researched. But it's $1.5 million of taxpayers' money that has been put into this trip, and this president is leaving from Liberia, or has left actually Liberia, to be out of Liberia till probably close to 7 weeks or more.
Weeks. Yeah.
7 weeks or more, and
He's not
leaving,
going back until December.
yeah, leaving the country to who? To Musa Dane? To who? To Akaris Gray? To who?
To
To
Joel Howard Taylor? Of
Jua
course
Howard,
not.
who is also not in the country, I heard. To who? Samuel Toy? I'm not sure if he's not on the trip. Uh,
Jefferson Koji?
Jefferson Koji? He can't even run the city. He will run the country if he can't even run the
And
city.
they'll be acting president of
Who?
it.
And Moses, before you
Yeah.
come in, this is unprecedented. I've never seen this in the history of any nation,
Never.
except where the president takes medical leave, justifiable medical leave, rational medical leave, to travel abroad and seek medical attention, or for you to just leave your country in the chaos that you're living in. Rice is the crisis right now. Bad educational system, bad healthcare system, rationed electricity, rationed pipe-borne water, a country that's in darkness, the economy is in peril, cost of living is like living in hell. And you leave all of this, but you got the mind to call my man, what his name?
To it?
Thomas Dona. Say, my man, what LRA not collect, man? I need taxpayer money to foot my car. My
So, man, I got to make the trip, right?
He calls Thomas Dona, he calls Samuel Toy, He rallies the troop and said, "Listen, I need $1.5 million. I got to get out of here because I got to see team play in the World Cup." You be honest with me, Moses. How can President Weah think that we're stupid people here? That he will link his private leisure trip to Qatar to see his son plays in the World Cup rather than say, "Let me go do my quick nation trips or whatever goodwill, trying to solicit support for Liberia, come back, take 5 weeks, 5 days or so, and say, maybe I'll watch one or two games the US play to see my son, and
Yeah.
I'll put this on the pocket." He said he got friends in high places. Why
Yeah.
didn't he go find a private jet that he already get from his friends in high places and do that on his leisure time? The man has made more money being president of Liberia than he made when he was playing soccer. So he has private money, but still you want to squeeze from the sinking economy to take care of this. And Moses, you have a story about what Eugene Nangbe said, but I wanted to just talk about this, put it out here so you can now take the lead and just tell the Liberian people, tell all our good friends, our listeners, our viewers, make the case here tonight, Moses. Tell us what's happening here with this president.
Before even making the case of Volcano, I want us to look at the action of the president from the level of the family. And Volcano, you will be considered a good parent, a good dad, a good mom when you cater to the needs of your family. You make sure the family has stability in terms of housing, food, healthcare, and other basic needs are provided consistently. That's what distinguishes a good dad or a good mom from an irresponsible dad. An irresponsible dad is the one who will leave the family bills unpaid and take that money out to socialize, to impress people, and use money lavishly. The next day he comes home, he's calling friends, asking them, "Man, Volcano, can you just loan me $20 my next pay period? I want to buy gas." You're not a good dad. And that's what Mr. Weir and his people demonstrate on a consistent basis. According to media report, the government reportedly is investing $1.5 million into this trip. But I had the opportunity of watching the Commissioner General of the Republic of Liberia, the Maritime Bureau, Eugene Nangbe, who runs the country's maritime program. And again, Volcano, this is where sometimes when people talk about Liberia being in peril, I agree with them 100%. The political governance system in we as Liberia is so confusing. You have the Commissioner General of Maritime Program, and he's functioning as Minister of Information of the Republic of Liberia. Where is Lejo Reni? It say Eugene Nangbe that should be sitting on Spoon TV telling Liberians, justifying in terms of how long this man is going to stay, how the trip is being funded. Is Eugene Nangbe confused? I know he's former Minister of Information, but in today's Liberia, he's not Minister of Information. So is Lejehu Reni now functioning as Minister of Information? Did he make the trip? And if he did, why would he sit by and allow Eugene to mount the podium? Where is the press secretary who speaks for the office of the president? So let's leave the issue of governance. Let's leave the issue of who does what and who doesn't do what. Now let's come back to the trip.
Well, I just wanted to, since you went that,
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go
and
ahead on that.
so Eugene Nangwe is playing multiplicity of role. If you think
Mhm,
about it,
mhm.
It was the same Eugene Nangwe who claimed that he did George Weah's schoolwork for the degrees he got.
Yeah.
It is the same Eugene Nangwe who served as Minister of Information, and now he's now at the Liberia Maritime Authority. But when you see something like this happening, then you go back to a few weeks where it was construed that Ledgerhood Rennie was intending to resign from the government. I think you've
Okay.
seen clips on that and news
Okay.
stories. Yeah, news stories emanated.
Yeah.
So he had to come back and rebut it. But could that have been the fire or the smoke
It
rather
could
that
be.
led into the fire?
It could
Because
be.
for him to be, I wouldn't use the word sideline. I want to be careful with my choice of word. But for him to be left out of making the
Such a
case,
major trip?
that's what I'm saying. No, no, I don't know if he's on a trip, but making the
Yeah.
case,
Yeah.
making the case, elucidating on what is actually happening. Is it true that we are, on this trip, and who's the spokesperson for the government? One other gentleman that you and I were talking about the other day, we don't even know his job function. It's Opa Weeks.
Yeah. Coming.
Yeah, Opa
About
Weeks.
weeks. Yeah. Mhm.
We just see him leaning panoramani all over the place, but we don't even know what role he's playing, whether Lena is doing what it's supposed to do. So, Moses, I will let you come in quickly, but in
Sure. Take your
30
time.
seconds, that is why I say George Weah is running a credible government. The
Yeah.
same way he ran the national team, the Lone Star of Liberia down the drain. It's the same way that he's running Liberia.
Yeah.
Anybody can just jump in. It's like when they're doing the battle cry, somebody just stand from the back who say, what's that?
Yeah.
Where somebody saying something important, they just interrupt and come
Yeah.
in, munya, munya, munya. So everybody just do, and everybody's seeking favor.
Yeah.
When you see stuff like this happening where no one is staying in the lane, where
Yeah.
no one is functional in their capacities, in the positions that they were hired for, and they can't perform in the role, every it means that somebody is gaining favoritism, somebody is usurping the power of those people or the functionalities of those people, and it's just chaos. And that
Complete
is what.
chaos.
And so when you talk about good governance, that is a prime example of the lack of good governance
Absolutely.
because not performing the role with the dictates of the job functionalities
Hmm.
and being evaluated on the guiding principles of the functionalities. That is why when we come here to talk about these things, it's not about George Weah, it's about the lack of doing what is right by the Liberian people. And that's where
Absolutely.
I stand. And I don't care who say what here tonight. I don't care how George Weah sees me. I don't care how his crony sees me. I'm just talking for the interest of our country. We
Yeah.
have never been so low that someone can describe our country as a floor rag that everyone is wiping their feet on, including the president. He makes county tour, he's singing Liar Man. When you should be telling the people what you're going to do with the country if you were to run for 2023 and the next 6 years if you were to win. He's singing Liar Man. This guy is taking Liberia for a joke because his future is laid. He doesn't have to worry about money again. He doesn't have to worry about the good times. He's now enjoying the things that he didn't do, the things he wanted to do, that he squandered his money for, and now money is on his lap because he can call for it. And you know what happened here, Moses? Before you
Hmm.
come, the
Sure.
people who are packing the Liberian people tax dollars and bringing it to his Jamaica resort, they themselves get in the cut. So if you tell me that, what's his name, Nathaniel McGill was
Not time ago. Yeah.
didn't get his cut. He got his cut because we got the bigger cut. If you tell me that what's the guy named
Bill Twaway.
Bill Torway didn't get his cut, yes, because we got his bigger cut. If you tell me that some of those money laundering and some of those cases that
Serena Sifos. Yeah.
yeah, some of those cases that were supposed to be lost by the by the perpetrators, and they got a bigger cut, and we are got his bigger cut. It's just a fact, and anyone can look at it from how they are running the country.
Yeah. No leadership.
Yeah,
No leadership. No one seems to be in control.
yeah,
And Volcano, you and I, having lived abroad, having worked in structured environment where there's system, I can tell you, Volcano, if you were to ask me to go to Liberia today to work, I would find it difficult to function because if you're gonna hire me as a cleaner, when I get to that office, I want to be the cleaner. I don't want nobody coming to say, "Oh, well, that's my uncle." No, it's not about your uncle. I am working for assistant. Let me be the cleaner. I can be Minister of Information and you have quote unquote friend of the president executing my job duties. I will resign immediately. I mean, he doesn't need me.
And let me say this: we're
Yeah.
talking about this some time ago, and you know the reason why people like Elijah who ran it will not resign, because
No.
he doesn't know any other job. He's never worked in the private sector. And when I say the private sector, I'm not talking about ELCM. I'm talking about real private sector,
Yeah.
right?
No life
And
experience.
Elijah, you my brother. We come a
Yeah.
long way. We come a long way. I know you personally, like you know me, and we're brothers. But the truth there is, when you have gone deep, they call it going in so deep that you can't come back out.
Yeah.
You can't talk for yourself because, yeah, Eugene Nangwe is your boy. You guys went to school in Harper, Maryland. You're immigrated to Monrovia, or migrated to Monrovia actually, and
Yeah.
and became friends, and even your coming into the media is an influence by Eugene. So yeah, you guys are close friends and what have you, but you have a function, and if your
Have a
function is
function.
being usurped by
Yeah.
your body, you could pull him to the side and say, hey my man, listen, that's my role, that's my job, let me do it.
That's my
But
job.
let's not dwell on it. The
And
truth
then
is,
so
yeah.
so
So,
now let's come back to some of the gibberish
yeah, go ahead.
that Eugene spilled yesterday. And Volcano, sometimes the insiders of the we administration, they take Liberians for granted. They forget to know that they are talking to people who are highly educated than them.
You mean
People
that
who
you mean the Liberians in the diaspora who are,
Liberians in the diaspora and even Liberians at home.
let's
Even Liberians at home.
very weak too, man. Go ahead.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
club,
but
man.
Volcano, even Liberians at home, a greater portion of our people are highly educated than Eugene Nangbe, George Weah, and the others. Let's
Agree.
give it all to them.
Let's agree.
So to have a Eugene Nangbe sits on Spoon TV and try to play on the intelligence of Liberians, that's very unfortunate. I listened to him. He said the president's trip to Morocco, the charter flight, the hotel costs was honored by the organizers of the conference that he was invited to go speak at. What you and I know in previous administrations, let's take it as
Well,
far back to Samuel Doe.
but my man, from Joseph Jane
Yes.
Rao, where friends came from who can't raise money if you're going on a national conference in the interest of the Liberian government, the Liberian people, you will say this is the trip, this is
Yeah.
what the itinerary
Didn't
is.
say these are the number of individuals that are going, right?
Yeah, don't complain with people. But I say
Don't
the
come play
people
on
running
the bill.
Moses, the people running credible government. They've been running the country like a Lone Star team that did not make the World Cup, man. Come on. Let's be
The man,
practical,
the
honesty.
man had the audacity to sit over there and talk about say the trip, the cost of the trip was honored by the organizers of the event. But Mr. Nangwe could not tell the world how much this trip is going to cost the people of Liberia. He kept dodging the question. Most of the things he said were what on the surface. He could not. And he said, this is one of the other funny things that he said. He said they planned the trip in such a clever way that it will not cost Liberia a lot of money. But Mr. Nangbe, have you forgotten that you just said the trip to Morocco was honored by organizers of the event? Then how do you say that the trip will not cost Liberia a lot of money? So you see the contradiction right there? So he said that, oh, well, the president has series of activities to attend abroad. So what they decided to do as a means of minimizing the cost, they decided that the president would take 7 weeks away from the country. He will go to what? France to attend the Paris Peace Forum. He go to Egypt to attend a conference on on the environment. He will go to Qatar because he was invited by FIFA. He will attend the opening session of the World Cup, which starts on the 20th of November. He's also expected to come to the United States for the batting conference with world leaders. He will go to Monaco. Mr. Weir, why are you going to do to Monaco? At the expense of Liberians? Who is paying for this? Who are your delegates? How many presidents did you take? This trip is costing the people of Liberia $1.5 million.
And this could be even allegedly $1.5 million. It could be
Yes.
even more.
Yeah, it could be more.
$1.5
And
million.
then for Kendall to tell you how insensitive the administration is. All of this is happening when there are reports out there that speak of the appalling living condition of Liberian diplomats abroad. Liberian diplomats in the United States.
Listen, stop right there. We must be seeking asylum.
Thomas, why'd you say the man seeking asylum?
No president in the world leaves the country for that long. Oh, TA, my man, you're right. It could be in a subtle way. This boy is heading to Jamaica.
the man lay for nation.
Yeah.
But
go
let's
ahead.
on the most serious note, right? The president and his people are abroad,
Yeah, leaving the people
on a joy ride, while his diplomats in France, in the United States, in Africa, and other parts of the world, they have not been paid for several months. Some
And
are even being
Christmas come here.
evicted.
And Christmas come here.
Yeah, Volcano.
Let get pay the people that are running away. You want to come close to Christmas, then there's mango, and then Christmas and New Year pass.
Now you tell me, Volcano, you have a diplomat in the United States who has been evicted from his apartment because he could not keep up with the rent. Very soon, winter is going to kick in. You have apartment homes occupied by diplomats that are running with FAWA, basic necessities of life. You know what it means when the winter kicks in. If you don't have heating system, your safety is in danger. At home, civil servants, health workers, teachers have not been paid for months. And you have somebody taking $1.5 million, and you have a Eugene Nangbe who has no credibility trying to justify that. Oh, well, we try to be smart about this. What are you talking about, Mr. Nangbe? You should not, in fact, be speaking for the government. You should not. That is not your role. We want to hear from the Minister of Information. We want to hear from the press secretary. That's what these guys, are being paid to do. But you step in the place and you want to misrepresent the truth. You just came from a crisis regarding what? The nation's staple, rice. That has not even been resolved properly. And you have the president abandon the country for 7 weeks. And you got somebody talking about, oh, well, we try to play smart. What are you playing smart about? How do you run a household in the absence of the daddy or the mommy? How do you expect the kids to survive? Who is in charge? If there's a national crisis today in Liberia, how will that be handled? Somebody will say, oh, well, there's somebody acting. Well, come on, man. We didn't see this with Ellen Johnson Sirleaf.
But Moses, some of the people that are acting, they can't even perform in their own current role. They should be the acting president of the country.
Yeah.
Hey, man, let's talk to also. You know me, my man.
No, you're absolutely right.
I can talk the Liberian way when I want to.
Yeah, you're right.
The man then, Let me speak the Liberian English.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
In their own role, the role that they're playing. They can't
They
even.
know what they do it.
Then you lead an acting president of the country.
Acting
The
president.
president said can't perform his own role. So what
No.
the instructions he leaving?
What
How does he
instruction?
come back and and take his country back and say, "Oh my man, you
No.
did a good job"?
It-
Oh, because the Liberian people have resolved to be peaceful. Because the
Mhm.
Liberian people have resolved to swallow the bitter pill. You remember back in the day they said swallow the bitter pill?
Better, better, better.
Yeah. Because the Liberian people have resolved to endure this
All of
kind
it.
of necessity,
Mhm.
this kind of hardship. And so we'll wait for 2023. I know they got a stupid one in it. And let people tell me anything here tonight. But they got a stupid Liberian people who will vote for George Weah come
Oh
2020.
yeah, a good number of
And
them
the reason
too.
why I use the term stupid is not in
Mhm.
an insulting way, but it's in a way that people have not really analyzed the livelihood. They have not looked in the mirror and said, wow, my 13-year-old daughter is now the breadwinner for the family.
Yeah,
My
she has to
10-year-old
go.
son is running the streets selling between cars.
Yeah.
Even though we found something to eat today, but this is not what it is.
Mhm.
This is not what it should be. Look at it. George Weah's son is going to be playing in the World Cup.
Cop. Yeah.
George Weah's son, Tim Weah, will be playing in the World
World Cup.
Cup. It is the greatest stage that anyone in any sport can ascend to.
Of course.
Anyone. And George Weah has left Liberia for about 7 weeks or more to go and see his son.
Play. Yeah.
Many of you Liberians today, and I want to say, and I want to look you right in the eyes. Your kids have talents, but they can't produce those talents because the country under George Weah has not provided the opportunity.
Mhm.
Your kids have educational smarts, but they can't display those smarts because the educational system is still.
Terrible. Underfunded.
You know that your child can do more than any other kid around the world. But unfortunately, you can't afford to keep that child in school. And so that child has to go to sell. And when that child gets home, his grade depreciates in value because he got to be being the breadwinner and he also got to be trying to study to
Mhm.
be smart. This is very concerning.
Very
George
sad.
Son has made it. Thousands, thousands, and thousands and millions of Liberian children will not make it.
Oh,
And if you decide to put this man back in office for 6 more years, it's just going to be gliding on the merry-go-round. It's going to be gliding in his invincible park on the swing. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we are start riding roller skate around the place. I'm telling you, we're going to start
yeah.
skating.
But the man is a comedian. What you
I
expect?
wouldn't even
Yeah.
be surprised if we are will not start swimming in his duck pond over there. This is a serious matter, my Liberian people.
Yeah.
We as son has arrived. We as kids have it all. Your kids don't. Ellen Johnson, Sirleaf King, her kids had it all, and they now have it all. The Robert Sirleafs, those guys are millionaires. Why do
Yeah.
you people continue to sit when the resources of the country should be spread across the board, that every Liberian will have a piece of the pie? And even if my piece of the pie is to have low electricity at night, my little Xbox, I can get my cold water to drink when I eat my hot pepper soup. That's the Liberian life. But when I have to light candle, and potentially the candle can burn down my little Congo, while Weah is enjoying generator and electricity, and his kids abroad and enjoying, his wife has a budget of more than $1 million in our budget for what she doing. What is she doing? And you
Nothing.
people sitting there and say you want to give this man power again?
Mhm.
Doom unto you, suffering unto you. I'm being honest here tonight. And I
Yeah.
talk because you would think that every time, Moses, before we come to hold this conversation, this president would think twice and make the right calculative step to redeem himself even prior to these elections coming up. He continued to blunder because he doesn't understand leadership. He's never
No.
led even a kitchen. The national team under his leadership fell to the drain, didn't go anywhere. We went around skirmish here and there. We didn't do anything. Somebody said something here tonight, and I want to go back quickly, Moses, before you
Yeah,
come.
sure. Take your time.
I thought it was very important. I thought it was very important. And I want to find it here. This is what was said. Opong should be very grateful to the Liberian people for electing him as president, or else it would have been a big zogo, a real big zogo.
I
Because
agree.
why? He lost his money. Let's go
Uh,
back to players like Christopher Ray. Where is Christopher Ray? He made millions. Where is Ball Charles? He had to come rescue himself in the Senate. He better be grateful to the people of River G. And I'm being very honestly practical here tonight.
mhm.
These guys made money. But now they're running back to government to sustain. Look at what's his name? Diba.
Salenza, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he made money. He's still fighting to be representative.
Yeah.
It's a shame. Go back to the African players like the Samuel Eto'o, the Samson Siasia, the Kalusha Bwala, the Abeti Pele, all of these guys.
Yeah, Pele.
Government
Yeah.
job. Only in Liberia, these guys run the government job because they
Yeah.
squander what they made
It's kind
and
of
they
everything.
as well. So this brother who wrote this is right. We have been a Zogo because in
Okay.
fact the reality was prior to him going into the Senate, he was begging his editions.
Oh yeah, but to
He was
just to
forcing them
piggyback on what you
to give
said,
him money.
yeah, the former chairman of the CDC, I listened to him. The gentleman that they
Yeah,
removed
George
as chair,
Solo.
yeah, Solo said it publicly on Spoon that he literally financed the activities of the party. Mr. Weir had nothing. The decision to even go in the Senate as a senator, it was taken because George Weah was literally broke. He had nothing. So the only way they could rescue him was to put him in the Senate where he will be able to sustain himself economically. Now, what drove him in there? He stayed up for all that time. What did he accomplish? Nothing. He did not even learn governance. And today he's president. And still he hasn't learned governance. How do you abandon your country? Volcano, election is next year, 2023. In the wake of this situation with the crisis with wages, the census, the process is being stalled as a result of malfeasance. And the president leaves the country for approximately 2 months. Is he not endangering the upcoming electoral process? Is Mr. Weah insensitive to what is happening in the country?
And this buttresses the point that the president is no longer interested in being the president, but unfortunately, he's being, you know, surrounded by his cronies and giving him all this glamorous praise. Baku, you the man, you the best president. You got to go back again, my man. We can't feel the Liberian people. Got to build more roads. The roads in that don't have street light, don't have road sign, don't have traffic light. The road in that doesn't have shoulder and all kinds of. But this is what happening. This president has no interest in being president. He got what he wants. He's well off. He's sitting pretty and he will sit pretty. But I just gave you an example, Moses. The man's son now has hit the big stage. I looked
Yeah.
at the lineup. He's gonna be playing I think right winger.
Okay.
He's in the starting lineup of the US
Yeah.
from the different research I did. The coach is gonna use him as numbers 7, I think the 5 right winger.
Yeah.
He's gonna start.
You're going big time.
Yeah.
You're going big time.
But how many
And
Liberian children? Think about it. George Opon Weah, listen to me tonight, wherever you are. Where's the soccer academy you created in Liberia? Rather than do an invisible park to create more traffic,
yeah, in fact, you just said that.
you have done
All the projects that he promised, where are they?
no, but you could have done the uh George Weah Soccer Academy and take it all the way somewhere in Grand Cru.
Yeah.
Go around the county meets, go around the high school meets, and recruit kids and send them abroad. You have the clout, you have the power, you have the influence, You have the contact. But it's all about George Weah.
That's it.
Now he's gonna be bragging. Look at my son. Oh, my piggy made it to the World Cup. I'm a legend. When people say these things, you hit George Weah. Whatever George Weah was in his own name, it was for Liberia.
Yeah.
No man makes himself for himself. You make yourself for your country.
That's it.
Moses, I'll repeat myself and I want people to hear me tonight. If I have a Volcano Shelton who dreamed to work for the British Broadcasting Corporation, it was one of my dreams. And let me disclose that tonight. And I thought I could work with the
Of
B.
course. And
I
any
think
of
I
us,
could work on
yeah,
CNN.
it's just an opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a matter of putting me. Anderson Cooper is not better than me. He's just asking questions, the same questions I ask. Maybe I have an accent because I'm a Liberian, but it's
Yeah.
fluent English. It's crystal clear. I can transmit anywhere on earth, understandably. Now, the accent is one thing, but the flair,
Yeah.
you know. But
Yeah.
the point I'm making here is that if I were to work for CNN tonight, and if I were to work for the British Broadcasting Corporation, or if I were to work for the Voice of America, they're going to say that it's a Liberian journalist
Yeah.
who is working for the BBC,
BBC. Yeah.
the VOA, the CNN, the Al Jazeera. That's what's going to come out. So it's not about me. I shouldn't take the personal glory or the personal pride for it. I should be putting my country out there and sustaining that image. But it's the contrast. It's the
Yeah.
ordinary. Everything about George Weah must be George Weah. Everything about Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. She's the first female president of Africa. But where is she from? They got to be researching.
Liberia.
Yeah, the people got to research. Yeah. Oh, she won the Mo Ibrahim. I think it's $1 million or so for good for
For good
president. Yeah,
governance. Yeah.
and the president who resigned honorably. Oh yeah, Ellen Johnson said it. Oh yeah, well, she won Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah, what a
Yeah.
peace for. If the United Nations were not in Liberia in the early days of her leadership, Liberia were not going to go nowhere. We're still sitting on the time bomb. But we say these things not under the thought that we want to make it look bad. We're just saying what the reality is.
Yeah.
We can be better as a nation. We can move forward as a nation. When people take the personal aggrandizement out of the process, when people take away the cronyism out of the process, when people take away, it got to be me who getting the glory out of the process. Liberia must be a collective effort.
Absolutely.
Everyone must have a stake in the matter, Moses. And
Indeed.
it's unfortunate we having transcend to that level of understanding. And that is why
Mhm.
we are. But quickly, we'll be opening the lines. I want to remind people the only way you can reach us tonight is to call via WhatsApp. We'll be posting the same number 404-272-2808. You will have to call us via WhatsApp 404-272-2808. We'll be posting the number in a few minutes. Continue, Moses.
Yeah. You said almost everything. The salient point. The country, like, if I may just borrow from what the ANC political leader said, the country is on autopilot, no leadership. And Mr. Weir knows this. His supporters know that the country is on autopilot, but they
But
are all over the place.
that's why he left. Because he
Yeah,
left on the
there
autopilot.
is autopilot. Yeah, the country is carrying itself. So the man say, I don't need to be here. It is redundant for me to be here when the country is on autopilot. The country will run itself.
So
That's why the man decided to take almost 2 months
Moses, you
of
fly, right?
foreign trip. Yeah.
You fly, right? So the
Yeah.
pilot left the cockpit and go way to the tail of the plane and lecturing with
Yeah.
the air
Yeah,
hostess
the air attendants, yeah, yeah.
collecting champagne and drinking as the plane. They say, well,
It's
and
a
that's
autopilot.
we'll reach there. By the time the land, I will come back.
Yeah, we'll be okay.
Yeah.
So that's what happening in the country. Eh? As a country that is preparing for another democratic process, there's a high demand for resources, monetary and logistical support. And the president takes an undisclosed number of individuals abroad with a reported $1.5 million. And Eugene Nambi comes to say, oh, well, they decided to do that as a means of what? Managing the costs associated with the trip. But he couldn't tell the people of Liberia how much the government put into it. You see the dishonesty?
Moses, I
Even
don't
the list of individuals who made a trip with the president, the Liberian government has never released that.
Moses, honestly, I don't forget this, right? I
Mhm.
was watching the president's first visit to Morocco.
Yeah.
The guy sensed the podium. And you know what was behind him?
No.
Dr. George T. Weah.
Wow.
Moses Sandy, let's talk about this for another 2, 3 minutes.
President Republic of Liberia?
I I, I thought I was blind. Went to the bathroom, took my towel, wiped my
Yeah,
face,
so they make up my
put my
see.
glasses on. And the man reading, the man talking, right? He's
Yeah.
addressing the assembly, whatever the people were in that room. But behind him, I saw Dr. George
George T.
T.
Weah.
Weah. If anyone who saw President Weah's message in Morocco 2 days ago, please tell me if I'm lying. I will take the lie. So you're telling me here, Mr. Sandy, that Mr. Weah looks at his name,
Misspelled.
looks at his name as George T. Weah, Dr. George T. Weah,
T. Weah.
and they send that pulpit. I'm going to write that. I'm going to post that right now. Dr.
George T. Weah.
George T.
Weah.
George T.
Weah.
Weah. That was what I saw. If I'm lying, then let people please
Tell
disprove
me.
it tonight. And I'm sitting there and I'm saying, but who is this guy, protocol guy? Who is his
Yeah.
secretary? Who is handling or mediating between the Moroccan
The-
government and the
yeah.
president of Liberia? But how would the president of Liberia ascend a podium where in the background his name is George T.
T. Weah. And
You
it's not George T.
go and
Weah.
stand out there. You know me, Moses. You're
Oh,
my
come on, man.
brothers. Anyone who messes my name up, you already my enemy. Yeah. You will spell my name and miss my name completely.
And
I
you want me to
spelled
go
Dr.
deliver a speech?
T. Weah. I'm not kidding you. So
No.
I'm thinking whether the T that one of her crew name, because you know you make all kind of name like where you got what they call it, Paku
Oh,
Yusuf.
Paku Yusuf, Barrow Medicine.
Yeah, I was thinking one like where I thought he took it to right now. I'm serious.
Yeah.
Anyone who watching this broadcast tonight, find that what you call it, the message when Dr. Weah went into Morocco and spoke on his first stop. And look behind him, the name was clear, Dr. George T. Weah. And I said, this president, Moses, this
He doesn't pay attention to detail. No.
the people around here are only happy for the stipends they get.
Yeah.
The people around here just want to be on the trip. The Liberians saying they want to be in a photo. That's the kind of people that this guy has behind him. And it's so sad.
Please.
It's so
And
sad because it's not.
Volcano, if I can just come in on that,
Yeah,
right?
go ahead, bro.
Yeah. The purpose of having protocol people with you when you travel is to take care of this little stuff. You president, Republic of Liberia. Before you enter a venue or a hall, your protocol people being in there, they have access and they come and report to you, say, Chief, everything is okay. It's time for you to go in. If you my protocol officer, you did not pick up that. And I go in, Moses Sandy, and I go in, I see that. I am embarrassed. Your job is gone immediately.
And I will be tussling with the Moroccan president.
Of course.
In the first place, you invited me here. You don't know my name.
You don't know my name?
Your foreign minister, your people don't know
You
my
don't know my name?
George T. We are behind me.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
not even ascending that
In
podium.
fact, I'm not even going there.
I'm
As soon
not-
as I see the miss, you got a different name there. That's not Moses Sandy. I'm not going in there.
you
So
Moses
the
somebody
protocol people and your people then will handle that.
you
You
Moses
know.
Q Sandy. Eh? I'm Volcano I.E. Shelton.
Yeah, then you
That's
want me to go speak
I.E. Shelton.
with a different name? No, So, but I just speak volume about Mr. Weir's inadequacy, his leadership inadequacy. The people who are around him, they play him because the people know he's not up to the task. How do you go to speak to foreign guests? You're not no president of a community group. You're president, Republic of Liberia. And your name is wow, poorly written. Or it's a different name behind you. That's why that correction should have been made immediately. Your protocol people go and check. They come, they confirm with you, yeah, Chief, everything is okay. Before you walk in there. You stand to the door, you see that. You tell your protocol people, unfortunately, the name they have there is not my name. I'm not going there. That's how good leaders do it. I mean, those kind of little mistakes. No, man, not at the level of the presidency.
But Moses, I wouldn't even call that a little mistake. This is a serious mistake. If I
It's a
was,
serious one, yeah, but
if
that's
I'm a
something that
president,
it can be
right?
handled quickly. Yeah,
Moses, as a president, it means that I'm on Wikipedia.
yeah.
I'm on Google. My full name is my full name.
My
Matter
phone
of
is
fact,
my
the letter of invitation
she's out there.
carry
Yeah,
my full name.
yeah.
And when that program is being planned, my
Along with my
full name
protocol people.
must be reflected.
Mhm.
And I would stand up there with George T. We are behind me. Maybe
Yeah,
the man
yeah.
ain't too bad. I don't know. I mean, just assuming. But
Now the
these
crew, now the crew need to
are
buy.
man, like all kind of name, you know.
To buy now.
So these are the kinds of things we're talking about here, Mr. Sandy, tonight.
Yeah.
That our president continue to create the laughing stock for us
Yeah,
by his own inactions to do what is right by the Liberian people.
mhm.
If you're just joining us, we'd like to welcome you. It's 8:01 p.m. Here in the U.S. at Eastern Time. We're on the East Coast. We'd like to encourage you to join us here. Invite a friend. We still have a few more minutes to go. We're going to be opening the line now. As I said, the number to call is 404 272 2808. Again, 404 272 2808. And you can call us by WhatsApp tonight because we're not operating on the local number. So just call by WhatsApp and weigh in the conversation here tonight. We're discussing the president's leaving the country. We don't know to who, how many people he took. We know it's estimated he took $1.5 million. His buddy Eugene Nangwe, the guy who can eat the chicken and the lobster, and ride a $90,000 car, as you know,
Yeah, Commissioner of Maritime. Yeah,
stated by Eugene Fagon. Said that friends collected the money for you for what's his name, George Weah, to make this trip.
yeah.
Preposterous, silly, unintelligent. I would not even come there with that kind of stupid assertion or excuse. But that's what it is. And Liberians have gotten so low that they accept anything. But we want you guys to call tonight. Let's have this conversation. Don't just sit there and think that you're looking for a job. Me, I'm looking for a job. I'm okay. I will talk for Liberia until I die. I don't
And
need
then
a job
and
from
then Volcano
yeah.
with the numbers, or you can also give my number just in case they find it difficult to
They won't
use
find it
WhatsApp.
difficult. No,
Okay.
it's
Yeah,
WhatsApp.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. You just call WhatsApp. Yeah.
WhatsApp is international, so they should be.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
use
yeah, let
00427.
our people call and join the discussion because this is about Liberia. And what we are saying here today is not
Moses,
because yeah.
let's put a disclaimer here, because sometimes when we talk like that, people say, "Oh, you're looking for a job in
Yeah.
communist government. You're looking for a job in Joseph Barker government." No, 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 man, they can pay me. I don't want to be corrupt. I don't want to work in a government where I got to steal for me
To
to
be able to pay my
be
bills.
well
Yeah.
off. I want just how I work in America and my little 2 cents they give me, I'm able to utilize it. The honesty behind it. I wake up every morning. I get to work. I start my job 8:30, 9 o'clock. I leave from there 5:30, 6, sometimes 7, sometimes 8. It depends.
Yeah, what you gotta do.
Pay every 2 weeks. I am happy. If I
Yeah.
feel that they're not paying me much, what do? I do? I look for higher job, higher pay.
Okay. Yeah, that's how
But
it
I want.
goes.
So when we're talking here, we're not talking because we want job. No, 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 no. I can't work for the Liberian. I already done it. I've been there, done that. I worked for the Liberian government for almost 7.5 years. I didn't get paid regularly. So why would I want to do that again? You know,
Before, in fact, you're talking about avocado. When I used to be at LBS, before I came to the States, the Liberian government was indebted to me for 2 years without pay.
well, Moses, pause there. Somebody asked me to say, when will the issues room invite Eugene Fagon? You know why Eugene Fagon won't come here, Tony and Brooks? Eugene Fagon felt that he was important because he was given a cheap job at the Ministry of Information as Deputy Minister for Public Affairs. He thought it was the greatest portfolio he ever held in his career.
Mhm.
He claims to be a journalist. He claims to be a political
He's a
propagandist.
political commentator. He's not a
Yeah,
journalist.
no, I'm coming.
Mhm.
He
Yeah. Oh
claims,
yeah. Oh yeah. You're right.
but
Mhm.
claims,
Yeah.
and he thinks that he's top dog. So he wouldn't come in the issues room because he's already tried to denigrate us by saying we were cartoon pushers. And
Yeah.
Moses and I volunteered to pay his rent
Yeah.
for six
We can
months.
do that. Yeah, we
He
can do
didn't
that.
take the offer because he knows we were going to do it. So he's not going to come here, and we're not going to dignify him. And he's got his one man show now. He's looking for a way to make money. He keeps saying that I will not campaign for free. I ain't gonna campaign for nobody. I just want to campaign for Liberia and the good governance of Liberia to restore our country, where I can go back and sit down under the breadfruit tree
Mhm.
and have my breadfruit dumbo coke, and I eat my kiss me, suck my kiss me, my palm butter. That's all I'm looking for. They can keep their jobs, they can do whatever they want to do. The day I retire to Liberia, I already know how I'm going.
but
Everything will be in place, Moses.
but Volcano, you have already paid a due. We have already paid a due. I can retire to Liberia anytime and stay home, and still live comfortable or live comfortably. I don't have to go to anybody to ask, oh, well, the kids need food today. No, I don't need that. If I decide to do anything in Liberia, just maybe to lend support, but not for salary, $200 a month. No, man, we beyond that. So there are people who think that, oh well, they do it because they want to come into government. If you take me and carry me to Liberia, how much you gonna pay me? Hmm? For Canada, how much do we pay you?
Moses, I'll say this. Pay me for my value, pay me for my experience, pay me for my education. I'll do
How
the
do
job.
you pay your mortgage?
Moses, no, no, Moses, disregard mortgage or what have you. What I'm saying here is that, and I don't
Yeah,
want us to dwell on this long because we got to get back in the lane. But
yeah,
honestly, right between me and you,
yeah,
if I'm going to go back into broadcasting in Liberia, I just want to be an equivalent of what Anderson Cooper or
yeah,
Christiana Amarpour and pay me for my value. That's
sure.
all. I
Yeah,
don't have to be Minister of Information to make $3,000.
yeah.
I can
No,
be Volcano Shelton
and make more money than that.
Finest broadcast journalist in Liberia make $10,000 over the Minister of Information. It's happening right here in this country. It's happening right here in the US.
I do not want to be a volcano. I do not want to be Minister of Information. And when I'm supposed to be functioning and I have someone indirectly usurping my function. No, I don't want to be Minister of Information like that. No, no. Yeah.
But let's get back in queue. So we are going to go to the World Cup, sit there on Liberian people dollars, enjoy himself, drink champagne, Mr. Liar Man, watch his son plays. That don't get that, and that doesn't give anything to Liberians. Nothing. It doesn't increase the Liberian economy in any way. It doesn't create good livelihood for the Liberian people. It is its own aggrandizement, his own merit. He's going to go enjoy his son. And his son, Manasco won't go, my man. Then we're in trouble.
No.
Yeah. But he's going to go and enjoy himself at the expense of Liberian people. And here we have Eugene Nambwe who's eating lobster,
Yeah. And
shrimp,
justifying it.
justified.
Yeah. He
Come on,
justifying
Eugene, my man. Listen, we
it,
all
man.
around, man. Listen, man.
But Eugene knows.
Your time, ba. That your
Eu-
time. But don't take
Eugene,
away.
Eugene Nangme and Volcano, let's tell the people out there. Some of them wouldn't know. Eugene Nangme knows Moses Sandy very well. He's my classmate. Eugene Nangme knows Volcano Shelton. And he briefly worked at LBS, and I think in less than a month he left. So Eugene knows that we know him very well. In terms of integrity, he has problem with that. So we all know Eugene very well. So when he's spinning, things, we know Eugene is not saying the truth. Liberians are highly intelligent. For Eugene to come and spin that kind of information, that oh well, the organizers of the Morocco conference underwrote the cost of the charter flight from Morocco from Monrovia to Morocco, and also underwrote the cost for the hotel. Eugene,
So
you are
Moses,
in error.
but Moses, agree.
Yes,
Agree.
I do agree with
No,
him.
no, no, no.
He's not saying the truth.
But Moses, stop. Let's agree.
Yeah.
Take it from
Okay.
me. Let's agree.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But the man ain't leave from Morocco and go back to Monrovia.
The mess. The man.
Let's just say the
The
Moroccan.
man's moving on. Yeah, he leave.
Okay, so let's say the Moroccan government
Pay for that one.
paid for the trip from Monrovia to Morocco.
Yeah.
He sat on there, the road named George T. Weah in CL.
You see that one.
He still ascended the podium and made beam off. But he didn't go back to Monrovia. Now
He
he on
move
his
on
way
to
to the
Egypt.
other places to Egypt. So who underwrites the cost from Morocco to Egypt? Who underwrites the cost from Egypt to Qatar? Who underwrites the cost from Qatar to Monaco and wherever else prior to
Yeah.
America? Who
And,
underwrites?
and the Minister of Youth and Sports and the very Eugene man are saying that the president was invited to watch the opening of the World Cup.
But
So if he's going to represent Liberia, then it becomes Liberia's responsibility. Okay, we accept. But what benefit does Liberia stand to reap?
there you go. There you go.
What's the benefit?
But that George, we are going to watch World Cup. That the one that benefiting that
Yeah.
who ain't got
Mhm.
rest.
Your diplomats in DC are being evicted. In France, they are being evicted.
Zoga ain't enjoying that. Why they talking like that?
And you justify something.
And you know what
Now,
happened, Moses? Moses,
yeah,
let me say
yeah,
this. Zoga, you my man. I saw you the other day here in Trenton.
yeah.
Who's this? This government will not last. If even you took 6 more years, and I want you to look me in my eyes, Ellen ruled Liberia for 12 years. Where are some of the people who were thinking they were the top dogs in Ellen's government? Where are they today? Where are they?
No, they are
Nobody
all are
tell me, oh,
beggars.
where are they?
A
They
good
look
number of them are
they,
beggars today.
but they're dragging now behind Joseph Boyka. They're
Yeah.
dragging now behind Alexander Cummings, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just telling you that people like Eugene Nangwe, people like Leji Hood Rennie, People like what's his name? We just talked about Zoga Wizen.
So, yeah, the
All
Minister
these
of Defense
guys.
program.
You ever have money folder in your house? Yeah, in the people barrel. And you know how we are the song they made it. They say my money folder rest bag. You ever have money folder rest bag in your homes to really, really live after we are? If
But look,
it
my man,
if
Volcano, you take it too far. What's about let him go and ask your man, the former speaker, Tyler.
oh, thank you for bringing it up. I don't want to tell you what Tyler going through. So Alex Tyler, or Alex rather, Alex Tyler,
Alex Tyler.
yeah, Alex Tyler did something to Marshall Junction. Did a resort. He said a resort.
Yeah,
One of the boys who were working for him behind the counter, the boss said,
yeah,
as soon as they miss my money, Tyler kind of said, "Where am I here today?" He collect
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
He
a
kept
chief
doing
there.
that till the business broke
Yeah.
down. Alex Tyler resort looked like a ghost town. The people, all the businesses have covered his fence. It doesn't even look like anything that was there.
No.
Ellis Tyler broke down, built for a long time. He was
Wow.
building. I started building my house in 2009. I was
Yeah.
in on Boston Road,
Yeah.
actually Ambula Johnson Road, and named it after the late Internal Affairs Minister. So it's
Yeah.
Brownie Samukai, Ambula Johnson, Mary Bro. We all down that stretch. And
Okay.
2009, when I first got the land and I was doing something there, I kept wondering who was building this big thing. They keep breaking down, they're adding, they're breaking down.
And
And our Ernest Tyler at the time, he
Alex
was a
Tyler, my man.
speaker, so he had the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he looking for a job.
Yeah.
He took a party, he joined it with we are
Yeah.
getting anything to do,
My man, we are then look the other way.
but the man got dealt away. The man got
But
dealt away, the bring away. So
but
you see everything, Moses. You see
yeah,
everything. These guys will come back to be beggars.
of
They'll
course.
come back to hang around and pray for manna to fall from heaven.
Mhm.
Because at the end of the day, you're coming in
Yeah,
one
go
minute,
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
era will remain. The manna will fall from heaven, but if you don't collect your manna in time, it will turn into maggots. It will turn into flies. It will turn into cockroaches, and you will be nothing. And you have to you go back to those maggots, to the cockroaches, to the flies, and that's what you would do. And we've seen that time immemorial from the days of the PRC government to the Charles Taylor government. Look at Momo Giba. Momo Giba, who was like the top dog of
Yeah,
80.
where's Chiba today?
Yeah, Giba, Jiba, whatever he is. He's
Hmm.
begging. He's all in nightclubs, begging people for money, literally begging for money. You understand me?
Mm.
The BM40, all these guys.
Yeah.
And then you come to the Ellen time. There are guys from Ellen government who thought they were top dogs. They're not just standing by the sidewalk, leaning on the fence and waiting for Joe Boyka or Alexander Cummings. And they were happy with the George Weah government. Except Liberia was not made to remain. Liberia was made to remain. You come and you go. But what you do with the opportunity Liberia provides for you to enhance its productivity, to keep it going, to create an atmosphere that will put it into the community of nation and sustain it as a nation to be respected. If you come and squander that opportunity all because of personal greed, you're doomed. You will regress. The money you steal will not do you any good, Moses.
Absolutely.
It will not.
One.
You and I, we're working for our money. We're putting it into places where it would have capital return, where it will help us for our retirement. These fools, they're spending it all in the nightclubs. They're jumping around. They want to have 2,000 girlfriends. They're putting up tables. They're buying big cars. And sooner or later, you will see. Because like your money, when you steal it, it will come back to bite you.
Absolutely. But look, let's just go into recent history, right? Before Jenkins Scott, the former Minister of Justice, passed, you saw the appalling condition. You saw how terrible he looked. That man became homeless. He became a beggar. So I'm saying this to buttress the point you made that all the thing, all the thievery that are going on, will come to hunt these people. They can do whatever. You can go ahead and frame this thing here any way you can, just to please Mr. Weir, so that you can continue to benefit. But how long will that take you, man, Eugene? You have a future. You can do this. You can do this. If it is wrong, it is wrong. You can't justify something that is wrong. And again, Volcano, maybe this is where we may even want to give it to our mayor or legend who ran it. Because maybe legend may have told them, hey, gentlemen, this is just difficult to justify. I am not going to put my name out there like that. Whatever you say so, the person can move forward. And you, Jim, I'm just assuming, I'm just being hypothetical, yeah. He may have said, okay, look, Mr. President, I would take I would take on the fight. And he came up and said what he said yesterday, which does not add up at all. Liberians are intelligent, man. A foreign country will charter a flight for you to do what? Your president, Republic of Liberia, they will charter a flight for you to just go deliver a statement that you read at a third grade level?
And your name George T. Weah?
Yeah, you're reading at the third grade level, and people will charter a flight for you, pay the hotel bills, everything. Most people that left from down there even had difficulties understanding or comprehending what Mr. Weah read because he's a terrible communicator. And Eugene Nangman wants all to believe that people are not wrote the cause. Let them produce the evidence, man.
Moses, Liberia is in a place where I don't know who's gonna rescue this country. Somebody asked, what are the opposition saying when you have a president leaves his country in an estimation for about 7 weeks or more?
So, yeah.
What are the oppositions saying?
To
You know,
socialize.
when you think about this poor little country, I was just watching something today, and the guy said that Joseph Jenkins Roberts, or our first president, he went to Liberia, I believe at the tender age of 20, 21, 22, probably in that ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
And he worked with Thomas Buchanan, and he was able to become governor, and then he led Liberia to independence, and then he became the first president. Then after his tenure, 4 years, he went into the military where he was, I believe, commanding general of the military, and then held other position and came back for his second term. But you can say that Joseph Jenkins Roberts' aspiration was to see Liberia a free place.
Yeah.
What have our leaders since 1847 done to see Liberia? Look at the picture behind you, Moses. Is that the city of Monrovia from 1847 to
That's the same Monrovia. In
2020?
fact, in
Nothing
fact,
changed.
you were saying the other day,
Further.
yeah, Volcano, you were just telling me the other day that the Monrovia that you and I grew up in, the living condition in that Monrovia has exacerbated, right?
I'm telling you that the Monrovia you're looking at behind you is either the picture from Totman time or Turbo time.
Yeah.
Nothing much has been placed in that Monrovia, and it has dilapidated and reduced to nothing, even
Look
in
at
this
that.
modern day.
Look at that.
Monrovia does not even have street lights, traffic lights that
Hmm.
are functioning.
Hmm.
People drive anyhow. And I'm sitting here and I'm looking at the picture in your background, and I'm
Yeah.
wondering, how can we brag of our nation for 175 years, Moses, when we continue to put the bad leadership in power. Now, is we are the last bad leader that we're going to inherit, that we're going to experience?
I hope so.
Most incompetent of all of our leaders.
Yeah, he's the most.
People are saying, "Oh, yeah, you Baku, you're the best president." I don't know, best is relative, but the most incompetent.
The
Who
most.
who who goes to school? Listen to the phone here, right? When we are ran for the presidency in his first time, he wanted to be president. He had a quack bachelor's degree,
Yeah.
and then the premise he made was that people say, "I don't know book, but I'll go back to school."
I'll go by the school. Yeah.
And he said he got master's degree. Right?
Hmm.
For real?
Yeah.
George,
Hmm.
where you got master's degree? Granted. But who goes to school? Who goes back to school to be president? But the presidents, I've never seen the job description.
Nobody goes to school to be president.
I've not seen the job description of the presidency. I've looked everywhere in my lifetime to find a job description of the presidency. I've not seen one written
Yeah.
up. Because why? The presidency is the heart of the leader. Moses, the
Yeah.
presidency is the heart of the leader. What you mean in your heart and how you feel about your country, the patriotism, the raw tenacity to move your country forward. Put your personal greed aside, put your aggrandizement aside, put your cronyism aside, and say, "This is about my country."
That
That's
is what I want to do.
that's the job description of the presidency. And then the guy said he went to school to be president. Or he went to school to be president, still can be president. So I want to see
Eh,
Joe, we have degree, whether it's he obtained
Master degree in presidency.
man, we are the alternative, man. Listen, if you just joining us, welcome to the Issues Room. Volcano Shelton here.
Master degree in presidency, Republic of Labrador.
Asking you guys to call us 404-272-2808 on WhatsApp. It's good to have
Jesus, man, you
you.
know.
Oh, what's it? Let me just recognize some of these folks here tonight.
Sure, thank you, John.
Tony and Brooks, Thomas Awaji, Mieni, it's good to see you. Dwene, thank you for coming through. Precious Caroline Smith, wow, you're back in the issues room. And it's great conversation here tonight. Flumo Livingstone, Amar Freeman, um, Aku Joseph Koma, we'd like to say welcome to you. Welcome to the Issues Room. It's a pleasure having all of you wonderful people. Alfred B. Cowboy, watching from Harper, Maryland County. It's good to see you here tonight. Thank you for putting some minutes on us, meaning your data, whether Lone Star or what's it called them, Celcom.
Yeah,
Godwin Weado, we say thank you. Vani Hardy, thank you. Degan Balayen, thank you for showing up here tonight. It's good to have you. Godwin Weirdo, pleasure having you, my brother. David Bestman, the deacon, it's good to see you. Jemima, Gemma, and Cisco, thank you so much for showing up. It's a pleasure having you. Adiaha Umo, thank you from the land down under, that's Australia. It's good to see you here tonight, here in the Issues Room. It's a pleasure having all of you wonderful people. Promise Sweet and Raymond Clark, my brother, all the way from Texas, and Fergie Monu. Good to see you. I guess you guys are afraid to speak, to call, but these are the kinds of conversation we like to hear from you because we have only, 4 more minutes to go. So I think we'll just move the number away since you didn't call, but I thought the conversation was great, Moses. So
it
we'll go back
was.
for wrapping up now. We have probably 3 minutes. Our broadcast is still 8:30. So let's wrap it up. Give me your final thought, more.
I would say I would wrap it up by saying that, yeah, it is true that the government this time made a breakthrough, won the, made a pass, met the standard set by the MCC. But hey, if you think that millions of dollars going to start coming, a few days from now, you are in error. I know Ellen Johnson Sirleaf got over $259 million, during her presidency when she met the expectation of the MCC. I know the we as supporters are now looking forward. Recently, Sierra Leone got over $400 million. This is the standard the U.S.
Oh,
government put in
Moses,
place. Yeah,
Moses, they're money
yeah,
free.
yeah. Eh?
They're money free. They're money free.
Oh yeah, that's how they're helping
A question.
countries that are considered poor.
Let's take this caller for once. Let's take this caller.
Yeah, sure.
Caller. Oh wow, the caller dropped the call. Let me
Yeah,
see.
that's how Volcano on the U.S. is now helping countries that are considered poor.
Uh-huh.
So they give you there are benchmarks that you must meet. Once you meet those benchmarks, they lend you financial
All right.
support.
Let me take
Yeah.
the caller. The caller is back.
hmm
Caller, you're live. Welcome.
Oh, this is just Precious Carolyn Smith.
Oh, precious,
Saying
welcome.
hello to everyone.
Thank you. Thank you
Yes.
for calling. At least
Yes.
be our lone caller tonight.
Well, the unfortunate part, I didn't log in on time, so I missed a good portion of the conversation. However, I was able to pick up bits and pieces. I think I wrote, I wrote I have two comments on
Okay.
the page. But back to the president leaving the country. Oh, as I wrote in my comment, I said the irresponsible behavior of this president is alarming to where this, I personally feel it calls for impeachment. But the
I agree.
unfortunate part, you had three branches of government so incompetent, they paid off, if you ask me my personal opinion. So no one is doing anything. The
Absolutely.
security of the country is at risk, and that should be scary. And you have the Liberian people, I don't even know they realize the impact of what's happening, and no one's saying anything. No one's doing anything. you know
And someone wrote just to buttress what you're thinking that maybe we are seeking asylum, and so he's leaving now.
I mean, seriously, you are a president, you abandon your country. As far as I'm concerned, that's what it is.
Oh yeah, that's
So
abandonment.
everything
hmm
that's happening in the country, you leave for pleasure, you know, to go watch your son play soccer for real. So like I wrote in my other comment, I said the lack thereof when it comes to the fundamentals of leadership with this administration. I don't know why we're even shocked to begin with. It was never present. It never existed from day one. But yet we seem to have these expectations, when it comes to what they should do and what they shouldn't do. Perhaps we need to probe the psychological behavior of what they're doing, because this is pathetic beyond words, like I stated. This is sad.
Absolutely
And then
precious.
I think the saddest part to all of this he's doing, his administration, the people who are in the country feeling the weight of all of this, the thing is, they have normal lives, his behavior, if they say, it is what it is, that's our time, so what? Are you telling me these people are not angry enough to do something, to scream, yell, or do what needs to be done or protest? And it's just sitting that thing is okay?
Oh,
Then us in the diaspora, when we do sound the alarm, like the way you have a talk, this talk show, this platform to create awareness, where we put in, then they're fussing and fighting with us. Like
absolutely.
to say, your mind, your own business. So then the question becomes, you know, what should we be doing? We're talking, we're bringing the awareness, we're telling the people do something, and nothing's being done. Then what? you know,
Yeah.
I don't know what to say, to tell you the truth. I don't know what to say. I'm just watching and going like, whoa, wow. But
The man,
anyway, it's
the
good to be
man, the
back.
man, the man that Baku Bear.
Yeah.
The man
Thank
that
you.
Baku you
But it's
strong.
sad.
Yeah, hold on.
It's
Hold on.
sad.
Yeah, listen to me. The man that Baku Bear, the man that Baku you strong. The man,
That borrow medicine or borrow medicine.
I mean, you the best president for the country. Anything you do, the people ain't care. The people love
Eh?
you. That is why this guy is doing what he's doing. I'm being honest with you, and it reflects by the inactions of the Liberian people.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
That's what gets
yeah,
me upset.
yeah. So I just wanted to make you to understand that it is the lack of the people acting on their own behalf. And if they're not even demonstrating it, I'm afraid what we would do at the ballot box.
Oh gosh, I don't even sleep just trying to imagine. You and I, the three of us, we work in this country here in terms of performance. That's how we're measured in terms of our skill set and so forth.
Yeah.
If you do
Yeah.
not get your job done, you get fired.
Of course, they
You know,
let you
we
go.
know that. So yes, someone, he's the president, he's not getting anything done, and he still continues to be president, and no one see anything. Like you said, come 2023, that I don't even sleep. I lose sleep over that. Just thinking about it is like, whoa.
Yeah.
I don't even want to imagine, but I don't know the mindset of our people. Maybe I need to have a show trying to dissect the mindset of our people. I don't know.
Oh, no,
I wish I
we
had
need,
some
we
answers.
need to have a show where we just take ratting and start whipping people and say, don't move, don't move. Just be ratting, just because it's like
So,
you only beating and change the mind. People,
Yeah, it's
whip,
sad when you
whip the people into submission, right?
post war, the aftermath of what it has created. I'm not saying we didn't have issue before the war, but
Yeah.
now we seem to have lost everything. The fabric of the family structure, just name it all. And now I don't know whether the mentality is, the war came, people was trying to survive, and they developed this, I don't know, mindset to where now, it has taken over them where, I don't know whether it's fair, controlling the mindset that they prefer. I rather, suffer. I gave you a typical example. I have a daughter, I adopted in the country, and she's been looking for work.
Okay.
So this entertainment center opening in Liberia, hiring people. So they're established in the US, go to America, I mean, go to Liberia to open a business. So
Mhm.
you would think what we have learned here, so, we're taking it back to improve, so to speak.
Yeah.
They're training these people to open an entertainment. First of all, they're not even giving them money. The children have to hustle, find a way to get there to get trained.
Yeah, man.
And guess what? They're making them to feel they're doing them a favor.
Oh,
So the
yeah.
girl is telling me, she starts to complain. The other people are telling her, say, oh, you better start complaining at least. We never know, son, the poor come to show us, son, you better shut up your mouth. It better that. And I'm like, what? I said, but the poor taking advantage of you. She said, Mom, the people say I should shut up my mouth.
Yeah.
The people cussing us, telling us what to do, it better that the people will cuss us. And at the day, how much they paying them at the end of the month, $50.
Can you imagine that?
And I like, that's the mindset of, she said, yes. So there's something about the mindset of our people until it changes or the mindsets change. I'm sorry, we in that biz. I always say.
Yeah.
and
But let me
just
not hold up the show, though.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
but thanks.
Thank you for calling.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And Moses, quickly, just so we wrap up
Sure.
in 2
Hmm.
minutes.
Yeah.
Liberia turned into the millennium age in a war status. The only reason why Liberia is where it's at, and I would say that it's part of the knowledge age and technological age, is because of the internet age and Facebook and Instagram and all of these social media platforms that provided the opportunity for people to get closer to what is unfolding around the world. But they've never been able to take advantage of all of this education provided them for free. The
So,
only thing they want to do, Facebook Live, we having party here. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. That's all they want to do. They all over the place gossiping and cussing each other. And they're not utilizing the educational age of social media.
that's right.
Our
Take
country
advantage.
descended into a phase of importance for the young generation to increase their awareness and their education and their knowledge, to be able to understand what is trending in other nations, how people are acting. Look at Iran today. Whoever thought that a protest What take place in Iran or the death of a young woman? Whoever thought? As muscled as the government crack down on the citizens, on communication, on all of the tenets of freedom of speech, but yet the people surmount all of the barriers and they stand to fight back. And you got Liberians still looking for Pusawa rest and they're looking for Chinese rest. They're climbing over barriers and three-pole fence and jumping over and then falling down, breaking their bones, their titty, then falling off their lap.
Yeah.
Fighting for rest. They're not fighting for the freedom to knowledge, the freedom to good life, the freedom to a better destiny.
That's right.
I'm done, Moses.
It is. I agree with you 100%. Everything you say is true. Um, I would just like to say that the trip abroad is unnecessary.
Ahu. You got to go to
But,
man.
but, but President Weah, Liberia
Yeah.
stands to benefit from nothing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Look at all the promises that he made. You know, since he came to the presidency, they have made multiplicity of promises. Look at the Broward Highway today. It has become a death trap. And you take $1.5 million abroad and you say you're going to mobilize international support. Mr. Weah, what have you done in Liberia successfully? There is another waste. Like Precious said, unfortunately, we do not have the other two branches of government that are very functional. The judiciary is compromised, the legislature is also compromised. So the executive gets away with everything. That's our greatest problem. That's why George Weah is having all this fun, because nobody is holding him accountable. And so let me wrap it by
And
saying
the other trip,
the trip
30 seconds, the other trip.
is a waste.
No, when I even in the budget, I showed that budget. They say
No, my man is alcohol. In fact, the budget should have the next budget should have been submitted on what? October 31st. What did the president do? They sent a letter to the legislature asking for another 22 days. So it means that when the legislator
because he out of the country now.
he out of the country,
Yeah.
when the budget is submitted, because I think that budget year starts in December or so. Now, when the lawmakers receive that draft, they will have to what? Pass the budget hastily without even comprehending what is in there. You see the trick the guys play? Yeah. So it's sad, man. Leadership
Thank you
is
so
a
much.
mess.
We
Yeah,
just
yeah.
wrap up. We gotta go 10 minutes
Sure.
above time, but it was
Yeah.
a great conversation. Again, it doesn't
It
matter
was.
in the numbers, Moses. Is
It doesn't.
substance, the conversation
Substance
we
of
hold
the
here.
discussion is what
I
matters.
think that Liberians will buy into this. The future is still bleak from what we see. We don't know where our country will be by next year. It's the crossroad. Our country either retrogress further or catapult into the new age.
Absolutely.
And we're hoping for that. I pray to God every day that I'll live to see a better Liberia. Not for me, but for the children unborn, for the young people who will inherit our country. Today, we're outrun by foreigners. And I'm not using the word foreigners in a denigrating state. I'm using the word foreigners because these people treated us like dirt in the sub-region when we went to their countries. And now they can come to Liberia and enjoy. They're doing everything.
Having fun.
Our country, we have not laid a premise for Liberians to be Liberians and enjoy their own country because we have bad governance. But there's a day that everyone will pay for it. I'd like to thank you tonight for joining me. Again, all of our viewers who join us here tonight. Thank you so much, guys, for coming through. We'll be back here Tuesday by the grace of God. Our promo will be out, hopefully Sunday or Monday. We'll come back with another interesting conversation. Hopefully we'll have a guest then. But
Thank you.
Say thank you so much. Moses?
Yeah.
Good one.
Thank you, Volcano.
Yeah, we'll catch up.
Yeah,
This
man. Enjoy your weekend.
this
Yeah,
was cool, my brother. This was cool.
definitely it was.
Yeah, that the George T. We are going to enjoy. Bro, beat up when he come back.
The CDC border are looking for Volcano shot.
I still can't believe the president. He said under the people put a new
Yeah.
George T. We are
Yeah, you chief executive, my man. You know your own name.
never speak. I'm not keeping up there. You gotta correct that thing.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Maybe I saw a different letter, but days ago
Just the weird.
I saw George T. Weah, Dr. George T. Weah, President of the Republic of Liberia.
But the man is too bad now.
Yeah, so
Are you forgetting that the man middle name is too bad?
yeah, he changed his name. Make a president. What? I mean, Georgie, I give up on you, man. I give up. Go enjoy yourself, lion man. The lion
Just,
man is giving you a friend.
just to be man and we are.
Oh god, my man, please go
Yeah,
look for that video. I beg you. And
yeah.
I asked everybody here tonight to confirm it, but nobody. The people scared. Everybody looking for a job.
The CDC man, they want people to go look for them.
Man stood up over there calling Dr. George T. Weah,
Yeah.
Republic President of the Republic of Liberia in Morocco. So when he went to Egypt, they were calling Dr. George V. Weah. So he said to Qatar, they will honor him, say the word.
Just kill we are. Yeah, my man. But enjoy your weekend, man. It was a pleasure. Look forward to seeing you on Tuesday.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
bye bye.
Yeah, good night.